Well, on Capitol Hill today, House lawmakers held their first public hearing on the origins of the coronavirus. Much of the select panel's hearing focused on the theory the virus was accidentally leaked from a Chinese lab, but questions remain. And there are plenty in the scientific community who disagree with that theory. Correspondent Blake Burman is live in Washington. Blake, there is a lot of bipartisan support for this. Tell us what happened today.
Yeah, and this was as you mentioned, Nichole, the first hearing on the origins of COVID-19 in the House of Representatives. And the key speaker there was one of the top government leaders during the height of the COVID pandemic, Robert Redfield, saying today that he backs the lab leak theory.
Has gain of function stopped a pandemic, in your opinion?
No, on the contrary, I think it probably caused the greatest pandemic our world has seen.
The former head of the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention leaving no doubt in his assessment. Dr. Robert Redfield blaming gain of function, the intentional engineering of viruses for research purposes, for starting COVID, and saying he thinks the pandemic began in a Chinese lab.
I came to believe, and I still believe today, that it indicates that COVID-19 more likely was the result of an accidental lab leak than a result of a natural spillover event.
But the U.S. government has yet to take a definitive stance on where COVID began and how. Some agencies have pointed to natural transmission from an infected animal.
But no one can say for certain where exactly the origins are today. And I think I want to repeat that so that it can be very clear to the American public.
The idea, though, that COVID could have escaped from a lab is backed by the FBI. Top scientists who were initially ostracized for that hypothesis are now saying, told you so.
There was just, as I said, ferociously strong headwinds. There was this manufactured consensus, and I kept digging. And like I said before, I'm a lifelong Democrat.
Wednesday's House Oversight Committee hearing comes as there's a strong bipartisan push in Washington for President Biden to allow for the declassification of intelligence surrounding the origins of COVID. The former CDC head believes that's the only way the public will get a sense of what might have happened.
I don't think that answer is going to come from the scientific community. I think that answer is going to come from the intelligence community.
And President Biden, Nichole, might have a decision on his hands here fairly soon, as the U.S. Senate has already approved of the declassification idea, and the House of Representatives could take that up as well by the end of this week, Nichole.
By the end of the week. All right, Blake, thank you. Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.